Hi, good morning to all.
Good
Good
morning.
morning,
Good
sir.
morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Just wait a couple of minutes. Some of your my friends, might join very soon. Let me share. Yeah, is this screen visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so
Yes, sir.
we talked about in previous class general background for our course we have discussed. Now we're moving towards particular topic that is part of our soft skill course. So the topic, which I was thinking, we're going to discuss. Uh, you might see here EI. So are you aware of this word? So far, everybody know AI, right? What is AI?
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial
Artificial
intelligence.
intelligence.
Artificial
So now we are moving. We are looking at. We are discussing about EI. So that is different and unique uh, type of knowledge based. How can I say? It is a. It's also one kind of knowledge that is that gives more emphasis importance towards emotions. So uh, and also we have there are two type of quotient. We say right EQ versus IQ. What is IQ?
Intelligence quotient.
intelligence quotient.
Yeah, intelligent quotient. So it is a antonym. It's like reverse. How do we say? It is opposite of IQ is EQ, and IQ is equivalent. Generally EI. This AI. Artificial intelligence is based on IQ, human IQ. right? So now it is a reverse. It is the opposite of IQ or AI. This is the word we are going to talk about now. Uh, yeah, these are the questions. These are the four important statements. So in this class or in this topic, we want to discuss what is emotional intelligence or EQ, emotional quotient, quotient generally. Yeah. So why it matters? In overview of the EQ model, it has particular scientific model like AI or uh, and then IQ, and list of ideas for improving your EQ. Now, so uh, just keep in mind. Now you'll understand. Yes, who is this person? Okay, so we'll understand what do you mean. What do we mean by EI or EQ? It's similar. Synonyms: emotional intelligent or emotional quotient, and why it matters. Now, as I said, EI. This is keep in mind. The EI. What did I say? It is related to human emotions. This is a basic concept. Every human being, even every organism, in earth has emotions. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So basic, emotions are basic instinct for any organisms on earth. Whether you take animals, birds, whatever it is, including human beings, we are not apart from, are not different from other organisms. So knowledge is secondary. Some people can have knowledge, some may not have, not all. And George Bernard Shaw says only 3% of the population on earth will be able to think properly, will be able to develop thinking capacity. So that is reverse. That is against, it's opposite of thinking is what is it? Opposite of thinking is feeling or feelings. Now, after analyzing the topic, what we'll learn. So, when you go to a doctor or a clinical psychologist, they will say, so human brain has two parts. They have particular terms, I don't know, I don't remember. Uh, and generally, we say in this context, the right part of the brain and left part of the brain. And this research, this emotional intelligence knowledge about human, has discovered, has been discovered recently, just 10-15 years ago. So not, there's something, capacity human brain has. So earlier, if you have knowledge, if you're intelligent, if you have thinking capacity, you'll be respected. You would be respected in the past. Now, another dimension of human mind, has been discovered. That is called as, when I say, left side of the brain versus right side. So left side of the brain, in the particular part, you might check in Google. So that is related to thinking process, cognitive process, informations, processing of information or knowledge or wisdom, whatever we say. But on the other hand, the right side of the brain, right part of the brain, that is purely emotional. That is all the time, active in human beings. Sometimes, the mind, this intelligence may not be active all the time. So that's what the psychology research, discovered. So there is a part, something called as, you know, another part of human mind, human brain, right side. So, uh, and it is internal, they say, it is intrinsic, and people should be aware of, people should know what, this thing is called, this thing is all about, right? Now, so now we'll understand. Just keep in mind, it is, related to emotions. Now, when I say emotions, now, again, let's be clear. Human emotional intelligence is not, what is not being emotional. Again, think about it. Emotion is different from emotional. Can you say what is the difference? Can you remember? Anybody can say what is emotional and what is emotion? Hmm? According to your opinion, I'm not asking you the perfect definition.
Emotional is going with the flow of emotions.
Without control, right? Without
Yes.
monitoring. So, but when I say emotions, it has some kind of capacity, then we'll say, it's, emotional intelligence is not being emotional. Anybody can become, emotional, but, in emotional, being emotional, you cannot take good decision, you know, emotional outburst, we say, right? In Indians generally, Indians have a lot of emotional. If you say any, if you want to see or watch any type of film or movie, the sentiment, Indian sentiment, that's we call the word, emotional. Something is attached in it, so that it will be it, not like intelligent related all the time, and it is not always agreeable. It's not all the time submissive. It's not optimistic all the time. It's not being happy also. It's not staying calm also. Then what is it? What is emotional intelligence? Now, see, now keep in mind this. It is five, statements are. It is not emotional. It's not agreeable. Whatever others say, you just agree and then yes, yes, yes. No, it's not, optimistic all the time. It is also maybe pessimistic. It's also negative. It's not just like positive all the time. Look at the picture, the three pictures here, Now, so there are different type of emojis are there here. First image, what does it indicate you? You can say, there are many
Being
people.
happy in all circumstances.
Okay. No, there is a first image, like first image, this side, left side at the top, what does it? There are many type, there are group of people. No, group of people are there, and everybody follows the same thing, but you are different. There's one person here, yellow, yellow color. You're different. You're unique. You don't just accept what others do. You have your own intelligence, right? It's not like you're a part of sheep. It's a personality, trait. It's a personality trait. Now, so I can do it. I can't do it. Now, there's the question here. It is remote. So, if you have anybody, if you have laziness, if you get into bored, bored completely, boredness. Remove the can't. You just say can. So with it's a spirit. See, I'm telling you. Okay, so I said, as I said, intelligence is purely related. Your capacity, your knowledge processing, your information processing, but you know, even if you want to become too much or highest intelligent person, but you need some sort of internal spirit, internal motivation. Am I right? Internal motivation, right? You cannot explain all the knowledge, you cannot keep all the knowledge, all the time, with you. Some type of uh, inspiration, or motivation, you know, that is that's the drive, natural drive for human beings to explore or to enter into knowledge domain. And how does it come? Where does it come from? You know, you know, it emerges from, that is the right side, right part of the brain, mind. It has some kind of emotional appeal, emotionally to appeal. You have to be emotionally attached to something, emotionally connected. Understand? Emotionally connected. If you don't connect emotionally, your all knowledge will be wasted. Understand? Your knowledge will not be useful as effective. No. Right? Okay. Now, see, this is what, Now, can anybody read this? EQ is, yes, three.
Ability to perceive control.
Yeah, go ahead.
The ability to perceive, control, and evaluate emotions.
Wonderful. So this is the definition of emotional
Emotional intelligence.
intelligence. When I said it is not, emotional EQ, EQ is not emotional, right? So emotional means people, will be weak, emotionally people, vulnerable, right? So they don't have ability, just they're purely like an animal type of thing, they just become, how do I use the word, they're provocative and they're excited, they're, you know, mm, what I can say, uh, uh, so that's what, right? So you have, suppose if you have emotions, uh, that's different from emotional intelligence, but you take care of the emotions, that is very important. You monitor the emotions, you control the emotions, then you know you will be uh, having emotional intelligence, you will be having EQ. Not just like being emotional is not, thing is not just enough, that you can claim, okay, you are emotion, you have emotional intelligent quotient. So now definition we understood. The ability to perceive, control, and evaluate emotions. Now, so EQ, what EQ says? Ability to perceive, control, and evaluate the information. That's called as
EQ.
Sir,
IQ.
IQ.
sir, it should
IQ.
be
I'm telling you, it's a reverse, right? Ability to perceive, control, and evaluate information, not emotions, is called as IQ. But we are talking about EQ here. Replace the word emotions with
Information.
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 That is important. Knowledge, we say information, knowledge, or awareness. You know, but instead of emotions, sorry, instead of information, We are taking care of your emotions. That's why it is different. Yes.
Sir, here is written emotional intelligence, but in bracket it is emotional quotient. So emotional quotient should be index of emotional intelligence, right? So
Yes.
in bracket, maybe it should be EI.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah. So because bracket means it has another word they have mentioned it. So we can make it EQ, emotional quotient. You see, emotional quotient and emotional intelligence are nothing but different. They're the same. Don't get confusion. Understand? So they're the same. Now, because see, when if you want to understand, EQ, you should also be able to differentiate, EQ with IQ. So in IQ, what is the matter? What is important aspect? Information. But in EQ,
Emotions.
emotions. So this is the difference. That's all. Yeah? That's the difference. So even I'm telling you, even IQ also, anybody can have information, but those who have ability to, perceive, control, and evaluate those information, they'll be called as highly intelligent people. Highly intelligent. Anybody can have information, right? Right. Right. Uneducated also, illiterate person also have information, but he failed to ability, he failed to have, you know, evaluation of that, control of what he has information, right? So that's what, right? If you just to put example, so, uh, go to, tourism, there is a tourist guide, in a tourist places. He can speak as many as languages, right? And nobody taught him, nobody gave training, to learn a different language, because just he interacted with a lot of tourists from different parts of the world, and then he learned and he managed to speak in that language with those people. Can we appoint him as a language teacher? Tell me. The only reason that we can speak as many as languages, can we appoint him as language teacher? No.
No, sir.
No.
The reason is that he can speak language, but he cannot evaluate how he has learned, how he wants to, share the information of knowledge, to others. If he has a failure in that, he just himself manages that. That's all. But he doesn't have ability to, pursue means, like understand completely, understand and control, you know, and then share it at the end, knowledge part of, if you see, you might know, because in your subject, the other teachers may teach you, uh, Harold Bloom's taxonomy, Bloom's taxonomy, are you aware of the word, knowledge? He has given 6 stages of knowledge, remember, recall, creation, all that, analyze, apply, all that, right? So, before end of this your core, for your BTech course, you may, you know study the knowledge part. So therefore, he can speak, but he doesn't have knowledge to, teach language to others, or knowledge to, he doesn't have knowledge to evaluate what the capacity of language he has, what level of knowledge, of language he has particularly, right? So therefore, one should have an ability to understand and control and evaluate emotions. This is very, see, I'm telling you again, EQ is more powerful than IQ. This is a recent research. This is recent research. It helps us to manage, our lead our life, easyable, feasible in a society. Knowledge all the time is a problematic, I know, knowledge creates arrogance. Most people I know, but this EQ, is not like, it's different, right? So therefore, you Google, there are hundreds of videos, uh, on EQ, in Google. You just watch. Generally, you could watch TED Talk, TEDx. Are you aware of them? Are you aware of those videos?
Yes.
Yeah. So you talk, emotional intelligence,
Yes.
on TED Talk, TEDx. You will get wonderful lectures on that. So they'll teach you how to develop this technique. And generally, see, the spiritual religious people, what do they call it? Yoga or mindfulness or many words, but those words, the techniques in this, that yoga or mindfulness or meditation, is not clear scientifically. Psychology didn't approve them, of EI, EQ psychology, psychologist, psychoanalysis, psychoanalysts, didn't approve them. But these people looked at scientific approach and how medical, these people have different formula, you know, uh, psychologists, we say, have different formula to understand, emotions, right? Now, this is a term, this is a medical term, what is this? Can anybody, are you aware of that?
No, sir.
Amygdala hijack.
Okay, so is a kind of emotional response that is immediate and overwhelming and out of measure, with actual stimulus, because it has triggered a much more significant emotional threat, and it is literary, it's like knowledge based word, the term first coined by, used by Daniel, if you Google, you'll understand, in 1996 in his book Emotional Intelligence, uh, why it matters more than IQ, so it's a response, it's a kind of response. So now understand, after 1996 only, the knowledge, the research about EQ, the research about EQ emerged in the knowledge domain. Now, this is what, you see, an emotional in a response. What is this? Amygdala hijack. An emotional response which is immediate, overwhelming, and out of measure with actual stimulus. Now, what do we understand this statement? Can anybody say? No. See, look at the brain part.
Instantaneous emotional reaction
Okay.
to a sudden environment.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. Actual stimulus, out of measure, out of control. See, immediate response, immediately. See, and also we use it. We have five senses, right? Touch, taste, smell, then listen. There's one more, right? Yeah. So everybody knows the five. Yeah, five senses. With using, human body, makes use of five senses all the time. So human body, makes use of all the five senses. And can you recall an occasion, when you had a sudden and strong emotional reaction to a situation or to something someone did or said or wrote or whatever it is, response. Now, you just remember that. And don't forget it, If you forget, you are too emotional. No, don't be emotional. Just remember it. So therefore, can you, that type, you have reacted differently, emotional response you gave, how do we see this as an example? Uh, there are a lot of examples. See, all of a sudden you are you are moving in a road and say in a traffic somewhere, and immediately an accident happens there, right? You just stop your bike or car and then want to see what happened to the people, right, who met accident. Did you observe this situation anywhere? Maybe you haven't been come across in an experience, but did you see this in your life?
Yes, sir.
All of a sudden people immediately
Yes,
gather,
sir.
right? All of a sudden people, but those who have EQ, full of EQ, and immediately can take action. Immediately they want to okay, look, call the police or call the ambulance, or and then take action. All that they try to help. And if you don't do this, and then okay, no, if I do help these people, then people, police will come and then ask unnecessary questions, and I'll be trapped, and then who is all that, some people think, right? Is there a time for you to think there? No, there is no time. If you think, you'll enter negative mode. Then what is important now? And all of a sudden in your class, suppose offline class, one of your friends immediately falls sick, and fell down on the bench. What happens? Are you be silent? Will you be silent near your bench? You can't be, right? Immediately you will be, emotionally you'll be, provoked, right? Then, you balance the emotions. Okay, no, just take it. So to cool the person, right, who has fell down, right? You try to, respond, or you try to convince the person with what way, in which way, with your emotional appeal. You are appealing, you are requesting the person, with emotions. That's what actual, actual means real stimuli. Immediately, you get a reaction. That is, immediate, no delay. That is overwhelming. How do we say? It's continuous flow, full of overflow, full of enthusiasm. We say full of enthusiasm, right? So now think about in this context, in classroom context, some of your friends might be fell down, and then somewhere an accident on the roadside. In two places, this EQ is there or not? Tell me. EQ response. Amygdala hijack is there or not in human beings? You never care, right? Who is that person? Whether he's a friend or outside, or your close friend, or you never care anybody. But just you see, immediately respond to that incident. Okay? So therefore, it means in our mind, in our brain, there is something emotional knowledge. In our, in our mind, you never care about, okay, whether they're relatives, they're or they're non people, or they're friends or enemy. You never care at all. But you have the concept of care and concern. That is why family members, parents, how they show, they're more powerful. They have more EQ towards their children. Knowledge is secondary for them. Knowledge is secondary for them. First, they take care of children with EQ. That right? They never think, okay, if I do this to my children, my child, and then what will be a problem? Will I be in trouble? They never care about that. But they have care and concern. So with this emotional, appeal, with this spirit of, with this managing, the controlling the emotional, uh, domain, they do many things. They do Many things. And most people say, no, doctors don't have emotions, right? Do you know this statement? You know, have you listened to some? This is wrong. This is wrong. This is old perception. You know, immediately you go, right? If it's accident, already heart attack person, you bring somebody, you know, had a heart attack, and then immediately accident person, immediately you go, and immediately they come and respond to you, right? Immediately, doctor, when you say doctor, you know, immediately they come and then take you to the, you know, take the patient to the, you know, theater, you know, this operation theater, and they do that. If they think about the patient, no, 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 please do, no, I'll not take immediately, no, just we go and then we give the patient and we'll see later. If they think, what happens? Tell me. Patient will be died, right? Patient will be died. See, that's why they call it an emergency, you know. Immediately they have to, use that knowledge. But how does it, they have to suspend their knowledge first. But they have to show their care and concern first. They have to be responded emotionally to the patient immediately.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, someone is removing everyone again and again. So you should take classes in Meet. That's why nobody will be able to remove other ones.
No, I didn't get what you said.
Sir, someone is removing every time for me and also some other peoples also.
How can it be? Huh?
So you can make every participant as an attendee because they have got power to remove someone or mute someone.
Acha. Okay, so I have to make only in attendee, na?
Yes, sir.
Attendees. How do I do? I don't know. Huh? Hmm? Disable mic for attendees. No, no. Disable, no. Manage permissions. Manage permissions, na? In that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll see. Wait. Settings. Who can present? Everyone? No. I can only present, na? Only me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So who can bypass the lobby in management? Only me. Okay. Allow let others bypass the lobby. No. Okay. And who can present? Only me. Allow mic for attendees. Yes. Allow camera. Okay. Record automatically. Yes. Allow meeting chart. Enabled. Allow reactions. Yes. That's all. Da?
Yes, sir. That's fine.
So now I know I just have edited. Yeah. Done. Maybe this time it cannot happen. I think yeah, that's good.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for suggestions. Recording. Wait. It's automatically recording. No, any attendance are taken. Wait. Record. No. Yeah. Okay, download the attendance list. 95. Okay, so where did I stop?
Doctors in emergency response.
Yeah. So now we are talking about the response. Emotional response. How it matters in our life. How it matters in our life. Understand, right? So how?
Sir,
Yes.
isn't it more of a reflexive action for them? Because for first few times they use their brains, and once they get the habit, they do
No.
it just by
The
reflex.
brain. See, the knowledge is stored in the brain. That's different issue. But what is the response? If they fail to give response emotionally, knowledge is no use all at all, right? No use at all, right? Huh? But they're keeping, for them now, response is important. Emotional response is important. That is why I'm telling you, all doctors have same degree. All doctors study same syllabus. All doctors have a lot of same type of experience also, medicines, all that. But why only some doctors called as a few best doctors, right? Only some doctors will be, remembered in the, in people's mind. Why? Do you know the statement? The reason is the doctors who care and show a lot of concern emotionally to the patients and lot of time, they give a lot of time, for patients emotional attachment, then they'll be known as the best doctors in particular treatment. Can we blame the medicines? Can we blame the syllabus of medical? Or can we blame, if doctor, is not, if doesn't, if he or she is not effective? Did you get my point?
So, but if the doctor is very caring, very sympathetic,
Mm.
but at the end of the day, he cannot diagnose you properly, or
No,
like
my
if
point is that that's what I told you. He cannot be emotional. He should manage emotions. My point. Did you get my point? Emotional world in this our course.
yes, sir.
He should not be emotional. He should manage emotions. Understand? If doctor comes and he never care about emotion, no, I am not concerned about emotions at all, then he'll not become good doctor. The difference, we just fail to understand. Now, are you clear about my point?
Yes, sir.
Now, this is very important. That is why emotional intelligence EQ is not emotional. It is to it is to control, understand, and manage emotions. So therefore, those who even teacher also you can say, you know, I know you in your life, from first standard to plus two or high school or tens of teachers, taught you, but you call them all you call all the teachers are the best teachers to yourself? No, I don't think. No, only one or two teachers for you, are the best teachers. Am I right or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why? Why? Because they have capacity. They managed emotions carefully. I know every teacher study same syllabus. Every teachers go through same type of training, right? Same syllabus. The same time also they pass. But not all teachers are the best teachers in front of the students. The reason is this is the latest knowledge. This is the latest knowledge. For you have to be careful about that. That's what I told you. I never suggest that IQ, emotional sorry, intelligent quotient. 1 minute. Yeah, so I never suggest IQ should be kept aside. When you deal with EQ, that's also important. That is also part of our brain. But my appeal here for you all, through this course, also take care of your EQ. Monitor, manage your EQ level also. Manage your EQ level also. Did you get my point? Don't get confusion. So because it is purely, some psychological topic. If anybody has a question or confusion, because it's a confusion, it's a problematic, it becomes a problem. Okay, we'll stop here in between. So now say if you have any observation in this. Hmm?
Sir,
Yes.
like IQ is something which we can learn, like it is intelligence we can study, but how to gain emotional intelligence? Like it is not anything which we can learn just by reading notes or being in a class.
Wonderful, wonderful question. Next, I'll come to this topic. Yes. Next.
How to control emotions.
That's same, yeah, same. Okay. So I cannot give answer, without completing that this topic, because it has a lot of, we just started, just 5 slides. There are many 30 slides left, more than 30 slides. So in this topic, we'll get how to, control. We'll learn. We'll be able to learn. But I know I have taught the same course to some sections, but I cannot repeat, without looking at the text, right? So keep this question in your mind, then we will uh, you know try to answer this. Then there is a scientific formula here. Psychologists provided particular format, or procedure, how to manage your emotions. How to manage your emotions. Next. That's all. I think you are too much. I know you are in a hurry to go for celebrations of Sankranti. Because you are emotionally connected to that. Right. So I don't want to
Yes.
disturb you. Because that is more powerful than this. IQ. I know nobody can stop. If somebody disturbs this celebrations, people get into emotional burst. They blame. They target emotionally. Emotional blackmail is more powerful, in India, in politics especially. Are you aware of this? In
Hello, sir.
Yes.
politics.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Can this everything happen without emotions? Like, why we need emotions?
It is a natural instinct. We cannot, escape from them. Otherwise,
Can we can we imagine the world without emotions?
no, 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 we cannot. Every organism has, because otherwise we don't have, will not have the senses. Why do we get, stimulated when you touch, when you experience the touch, smelling, when the five senses are active, right? Right. So otherwise your body doesn't work. That is why I told you, there is a connection between our body and mind. That's what, the philosophy of EQ is. If there is no body, how can the mind work? Tell me.
So basically, you want to say the all the senses is
Hmm.
have to work with emotions.
Yes,
Okay,
that's true.
that's completely scientifically
Yeah,
not
yeah, that's what it is scientific. That is
okay.
medical science. But now, lot of explorations, lot of discovery has been done, in terms of emotion. Now the source for this is emotions. They call it the source. you
Okay,
know
sir. Got it.
Immediately, if when you touch something, like if the snakes come and immediately bite you, immediately your brain will be active. How come? Your brain doesn't allow you to think about that, right? Immediately, what is this word? What is that word? Amygdala hijack immediately happens. Understand? Did you get my point?
Yes, yes. Got it.
Yeah. Fine. This is what, the power of, you know EQ. Next. We have time, 10 minutes, no problem. If you have any, otherwise we'll stop here, no problem. Uh, I'm not just, to read and then immediately I can finish. Okay, topic is closed and you go and then study. No. So, I'm also, I know how to handle, I'm a student of psychology. Little bit, 1 year course I studied. Shall we stop then? But it is, okay, so we can leave. We'll meet in next week. Sure.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Okay,
you.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.